And welcome back to another edition of the Simple Minds Sports Show. Friday Rewind live Tuesday after the Super Bowl. It's myself and Dr. Big Mac and Big Chief Gay Bobby. He wigwammed himself after that loss. It was so bad. We are back to the drawing board if you're the New England Patriots. As we always do, we're going to start with some opening takes. I'm going to roll right into it, Ray. And this hasn't happened a lot this season as a Patriots fan and follower as I am, but I was right. I was right all along about young Drake. I would like to tell you why later on the show. I've got all the reasons why myself was right about Drake May and the concerns that we had. It just happened to take basically all year to get there. So we'll tell you all about that on the show. Ray, your opening take.
Thank you there, Richard. The best part about going to a Super Bowl party is when you go there, some people don't even watch football. They're just there because they like the atmosphere. They like to watch football, like you can see the commercials and all that. But the best part of the Super Bowl party that I went to, one woman doesn't watch football, doesn't understand football, was asking, "What's wrong with number 66? Does he know how to block? Why does he keep letting him get to the quarterback?" And that is, my friends, is how you know Will Campbell fucking blows, because people that don't even know football can watch it with their eyes and see it that this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing and something's wrong with him. So that was beautiful to watch on Sunday.
You got a casual just stomping on Will Campbell.
Oh, it was great. I loved it.
No, hopefully he doesn't watch this. He seems to be a little sensitive with the
very
sensitive.
Very sensitive.
The young man. There he is. Obviously, the show rundown will have a lot of Super Bowl fallout after the game. Maybe a little look ahead of what the first moves that the Patriots should make going into the next season. A lot of Patriots talk here, of course, with the last game of the season over and done with, and a disappointing loss. Not a crushing loss, but I told you it was going to be disappointing. And anytime you lose in the Super Bowl, it's going to be disappointing. And that's what it was. Poor showing there from the Pats. We do got to talk a little bit Celtics. Speaking of poor showing, they cheaped out. Toot. Kind of told you that was going to happen too. We've got a 10 questions with the
obvious
bottom.
one.
I'm going to go at the bottom of the totem pole of dumb on this one.
Okay.
10 questions from the bottom of the totem pole of dumb. We'll see if that pans out. I'm sure it will.
Probably.
Simplest Minds of the Week, as always. This is the Simple Minds Sports Show, Friday Rewind live, Tuesday, February 10th. Happy BB to our customer service portal, amorel04@gmail.com.
The 40. Big 4-0. Old balls. All right. Fun show.
I got something troubling on my mind. I got something troubling on my mind. I got something.
Again, I think it is important in a show like this to reiterate before we start completely ripping the Patriots that our customer service hotline is Elijah Stallings. Nothing wrong with that. You're accepted here, buddy. Come on in. Adam Morel 04@gmail.com. If you want to send any hate mail or any complaints, Adam Morel 04@gmail.com. Why don't you tell them about our sponsor, Ray, since as I completely forget what I'm supposed to say.
No, absolutely, Richard. Why don't you go to 250 Grand Street, Braintree, Massachusetts, to I Love Boston Sports. Get all your Patriots, Red Sox, Celtics, even Bruins gear, and North Carolina Tar Heels gear down there. So, yeah, go down there and check them out. They got everything. There's no events coming up, but when they do, we will be posting them all the time. So, yeah, 250 Grand Street, Braintree, Mass.
There you go. Patriots fallout. Seahawks 29, Patriots 13. And one of the most boring games we've seen in a long time, just overall. And obviously from a Patriots standpoint, very disappointing and cringeworthy, kind of brutal to watch most of the night. We're going to do a little blame pie, and we're going to stick with the offense for most of this. And we're going to start with one Drake May. And I know the offensive line, you said it, Ray. We'll get to that. It's a close second. But for me, it's May, and it starts with the turnovers. But just as on a game, I said this in the text chain, I'm a little aggravated at how good his line looks, his stats look for how poorly he played. He was fourth quarter, but we said in the text chain too, it wasn't even necessarily garbage time, which is why I am so hard on Drake May. But let me just give you the full stat line here. 27 for 43, 295 yards, if you've been following the show, you know that we've been following his 300-yard game tracker, which he only hit once this year. So he comes 5 yards away from that, and arguably his worst game of the season. 2 touchdowns somehow, 2 interceptions. One of them was basically a strip sack. The 1 fumble, sacked 6 times, comes away with a 79.1 rating, which was higher than Sam Darnold's. 5 rushes for 37 yards. With Drake May, it is always about the turnovers. Okay, it is about, and that has been the history of Drake May, even going into his rookie season. If you remember, and this is why I say I'm right about Drake May, my concerns with Drake coming into the season was he going to be able to perform clutch and late when you needed it? All we saw from his rookie season were 2 big examples, a couple different examples of game-losing interceptions. The one in Tennessee is the first one that comes to mind that I always point to. Well, this season, when put in that position, which did not happen a whole lot in the regular season, really only happened once. I guess you can call both Bills games high pressure. The first game he performed, he had a great game, coming out party. The second Bills game fell completely on his face. The next week they go up against Baltimore, and he had a good game in a pressure situation, but Lamar Jackson was out. You got to put a little bit asterisk to that. You get to the playoffs, and I'm sorry, the kid has been just not good. Just not good. You know, that's an AFC Championship and Super Bowl, he's been bad. So specifically in this Super Bowl, the turnovers, it's about timing for Drake May and his turnovers. The first one was the fumble in the pocket, loose ball, small hands, whatever you want to call it. A guy reaches across his block and taps the ball, and Drake loses it. That was with 12 seconds left in the third quarter. The Patriots were driving. They were on their own 40, but they had finally started to move the ball after a game of doing nothing. There's 12 seconds left in the third. They turn the ball over inside their own territory. The Seahawks go down and score, but it was 12-0. You go down there and score, it's a 1-possession game. They were solidly in this game until almost midway through the fourth quarter, which brings me to a second, unless you want to talk about that fumble.
I just like when you get to the next point, there's someone that didn't even want to jump on it, and that would be Will Campbell. Will Campbell just watched that fumble just go by the wayside.
I didn't even see that. I was just
he was just watching the ball. He was just like, I'm not going to get it.
I love how much you hate Will Campbell right now.
I hate Will Campbell right now. He is public enemy number 1 for me.
He had a very bad game, which we'll get to. So you lose momentum here with the first fumble. First positive yardage you've got from the offense all night. You're on your own 40, pushing to get over midfield. Drake May, not that crowded of a pocket. He clearly has a running lane that he sees to go get. Loose hands, ball control, can't hold on to the ball. They lose it. They then go down 19-0. The second, the second turnover, which everybody remembers is getting replayed, is one of the most hellacious interceptions in Super Bowl history. And you can argue whether it was tipped or whether it was hit, and the pocket was not clean, obviously. But, I mean, to throw that ball where it went, a lot of things had to go wrong, including Drake May's decision, his throw. That one's on the quarterback. I'm sorry. But, again, it's his momentum. They had gone down and scored a touchdown. There is 8 minutes and 41 seconds left in the game. It's 19-7. Again, you're at your own 40-yard line looking to go over midfield and threaten to score and make it a 1-possession game again with 8+ minutes left in a game where the Seahawks offense isn't doing shit either. They're very much in this game. You could feel it. He just hit a couple passes. It feels like he's in rhythm. Collinsworth even said they finally got him in rhythm. They're spreading the ball out. They've got they're going 5 wide. And he lollipops one to the middle of the field, and he had Williams. If he throws it to the flag, it might have been a fucking touchdown. Again, the throw sucks, the decision sucks, everything sucks, but the timing of these turnovers for May, when the pressure's on, he just folds. And then the second one, the strip sacks, that's technically an interception. You could even argue they're still in this game. It's 22-7. It's 4.5 minutes left. You're at the 50-yard line. You go make it 14 or 15-22. It's a 1-possession game with 3+ minutes left. You're in the ball game with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, and he can't see the fucking strong side blitz coming right at his face. He just needs to hit Diggs for 7-8 yards dump off, and you're moving. And then the game's over. They go down strip sack and score, and the game's over. But for me, for May, Obviously, the game was poor, and we can get into the offensive line and the play calling. But those turnovers, and this was all season long, the timing of those turnovers and in the pressure cooker situations, it's either he loses his head or he's not comfortable or he's not composed or I'm not sure what the answer is, but it's magnified in those situations. He just kills momentum with those turnovers.
He does. And the thing that I hated the most too is in the exit interviews today, he was basically saying how he got shot up. His shoulder wasn't right since the Denver game, but he hasn't looked right since the San Diego Chargers game. When he started the Chargers game, he didn't look right. He was turning the ball over against Houston. He had those turnovers again. Denver was a complete shit show, but he says that's when he got hurt. I mean, the kid hasn't been right since the playoffs started. Why wouldn't you start trying just to do like the old Patriots way of just short passes and just let your wide receivers do the work? And if you know that your quarterback can't throw the ball down the field, your offensive line is atrocious. Get him into comfortable situations instead of looking 20 yards down the field for a booty or a Pop Douglas going down the field,
Okay. We'll get to the play calling. I don't think that's the biggest issue. It's why it's down the list in here. If you listen to any of the professionals, Drake May had opportunities to make in that game. Against a very good defense. They're going to come short and late. He needed to be a precision passer, throw guys open, understand the zone, anticipation, and he didn't. And I have two more things to say about Drake May. The reason why he didn't have that, the reason why he was late in this game, I think that Texans game, I think those fumbles rattled him. Or the coaches after that game said, "You got to knock this shit off." He had 4 fumbles, but he also had 3 excellent touchdowns. Like even in those games, even in the Chargers game, he had 3 or 4 elite throws.
Yeah.
So, and then you get to the Denver game before the injury, right from the jump, the first snaps, he looked like the beginning of the season. He looked like the Raiders game, late with his decisions, indecisive, not sure, holding the ball too long, getting himself in trouble. Same thing in the Super Bowl. I think he mentally got rattled after that Texans game and those 4 fumbles, and ball control was key. And that went all the way up the chain, all the way up to Vrabel. They turned into such a conservative team after that Texans game. You couldn't really see it in Denver because of the snow. They never turned the switch in the Super Bowl, and they didn't really need to because they're into it. We'll get to that in play calling, but I think Drake May got rattled after that Texans game.
100% agree.
Second thing about Tim, in this injury, and the Will Campbell in the injury, and these kids, call them kids, 22-year-old men, their immaturity and inexperience got exposed. Boys, stop talking about your injuries. If it's not a problem and it's not what the reason you play poorly is, then don't talk about it. I don't want to hear, listen, I had a sprained MCL. Listen, I had to get shot up, but that's not the reason I played bad. Then don't talk about it. Okay. Drake May hinting about it, giving himself a little bit of an out for the fans to jump on the fact he was injured. Enough. Don't do that shit.
Bad look.
Drake May needs to toughen up a little bit. I've been saying this all season about him too. When he gets hit, every time he's on the ground, he's wincing and like, buddy, get the fuck up and don't let him show you're hurt. Like, even if you are hurt, don't let him show you're hurt. He's got to bulk up. He's got to toughen up. And the young guys, you got to shut up when it comes to your injuries. You're not injured, dude. You're not. Don't tell anybody you're hurt.
The best part today, too, was Greg Bedard said someone on the Patriots had broken ribs and played through it all season, and they didn't even make a mention of it at all. You won't even know who it was because they played through it and didn't say a word about it.
And that's a vet. And the best thing, the caveat, the positive caveat in all of this, the main problems from this game came from 2 rookies at your 2 most important positions of left tackle and quarterback. And they're both very young. And I think they both have good heads on their shoulders, putting in spotlight that, this was a little too big for them. They're a little bit ahead of schedule, and they're dealing with it professionally, just a tinge of immaturity, and they should grow and they should both get better at all of it. On the field, off the field, they should continue to get better, and I have confidence that they will. But in the retrospect and reflection of this game, stop talking about your injuries. Stop. Drake, maybe you were hurt. Maybe that's why you missed a wide open Austin Hooper by 20 fucking yards. I think it's because you can't read a defense post snap. That's good, is what I think. That's what I think. Also, I think you're getting your ass kicked, sacked 6 times, sacked the most in the league by far. You probably were beaten up, and you got sped up because your line blows, starting with your guy, Will Campbell, who, if you believe Pro Football Focus, 14 pressures allowed by Will Campbell, which was the most in every Super Bowl ever, 29 allowed throughout the playoffs, which was the most ever. Jared Wilson, the rookie next to him, not that much better.
Morgan Moses wasn't that good either.
It was coming from all sides, and
Yeah.
it was coming with mostly four down linemen rushing, and then when they blitzed, forget about it. I mean, it was another. I've said this a lot on the show. If you can't identify and beat a blitz as a quarterback, you kind of suck. You kind of suck, especially when they do it all night. So, your thoughts on the offensive line?
Why wasn't Vidarian Lowe an option coming out of halftime?
Oh God,
that's how bad. That's how
bad that sounds.
That's how bad Will Campbell played. Like I was at the Super Bowl party. My friend's house, and I asked that question out loud. Why would you not put Vidarian Lowe in at halftime? This kid's getting rattled. They needed extra protection over there. They started putting Stevenson on the left side of Drake May just to try to help out with the blocking. Wasn't helping. Will Campbell sucked. If you're hurt and you have this torn ligament in your knee that you had to talk about today at your press conference because you didn't want to talk about it Sunday because you might have slipped and said something wrong. Well, guess what, buddy? You sucked. You shouldn't have been in that game. Come the second quarter, they should have put Vidarian Lowe in there. That's how bad Will Campbell is playing when we have to say, please, Vidarian Lowe, by all means, come to left tackle and play for us and save us.
That's tough. I don't know how much better it would be, but certainly kids having a bad game like that, take them out for a couple spells. But so that does lead me to coaching. And if you're not going to bench Will Campbell, then, I've heard a lot of people say this. Can we get a jumbo set? Let's really work on the run. Let's try and run the ball. They're not the Seahawks are not threatening offensively. Let's control the clock. Let's really pound the game. Here's my deal with the play calling, and everyone's all over Josh McDaniels. Listen, you Vrabel Bobos. This is a Mike Vrabel call. The style of play that the Patriots came into this game and Denver, that's coming from the top. That's coming from Vrabel going, don't let Drake lose this game for us. He lost faith in Drake May. That I am convinced of that. And that's why they simplified that offense. They tried to play conservatively. They tried to win with 17 points, and they basically could have if Drake May didn't turn the fucking ball over. So if you want to say Mike Vrabel was vindicated and it's not because Drake May sucked, then sure. But the play calling, I give Josh McDaniels a little bit of a pass there for a couple reasons. Number one, I think it was Vrabel's call to be that conservative. Number two, his offensive line couldn't do shit. So when you're in that situation, it's hard to call trick plays or anything outside of just basic shit to try and get them on board. And number three, if you don't trust your quarterback because you think his head's fucked up or maybe his shoulder's hurt, then you're not going to get outside your normal playbook. The one thing I would have liked to see is, because they couldn't block, is just go big fat fucking jumbo. They were going 3 and out all night anyway. Just run. See if you can break a play action deep.
They tried to do that, but then they put Trevion Henderson in, and he couldn't do shit. Again, what was wrong with Stevenson? Why did they take Stevenson out? I didn't see him go to the tent. They wouldn't talk about an injury on the sideline. They just took him out and they put Henderson in there. Were they hoping for like a home run play? Like, it hasn't happened all season.
That Collinsworth said that on the broadcast, and they did it all year, Ray. They spelled, and maybe this is just their philosophy, but in the games where they rode Ramondre Stevenson, it felt like, they could get some momentum. My biggest gripe on the play calling is it didn't feel like McDaniels had a feel for the game, which, again, I give him a little bit of a pass because it's hard to have a feel for a game when you're 3 and out every fucking time you get the ball. That's a difficult way to live as a play caller, especially when your head coach is telling you, don't give Drake May the opportunity to lose this game for us, which I believe in so many couched words was the overall offensive philosophy in that Denver game and in the Super Bowl was, let's play this conservatively on offense and let the defense win it for us.
They almost did.
Well, it brings me to my last gripe and point on this. Well, except for just quickly the pass catchers.
The who?
Thank you. Was Diggs distracted because someone broke up with him at halftime? Was that his problem?
Mm-hmm.
Cardi B dumped him at halftime, so he couldn't show up for the Super Bowl?
Pretty much.
Jesus. I thought he was supposed to be the zone guy. He was supposed to be the breaker of zones. He did it
His heart was
partially
broken,
throughout the
Richard.
season?
His heart was broken. He can't read his zone if your heart's broken. Clearly.
He's thinking about that walking out the door. What
I can't
happened
get
with
that
him?
what?
He hired one of his, he bought one of those baby mama's seats.
So they remember the girl that he got pregnant?
Which one?
The one, not Cardi B, but the other one, like at the
I think
same
there's a
time.
couple more. I think there's a couple. Yeah,
Yeah,
anyway.
the other one. But yeah, basically he bought her front row seats to the Super Bowl, like right behind the bench, brought the baby, and she was sitting with his family. So Cardi B did not like that.
That's a tough that is a tough situation to navigate. Although apparently not tougher than the Seattle defense zone. Boom, nice one, Rich. Thank you. Because he stunk. Absolute zero from Diggs really throughout the entire playoffs. Is he an option this year?
Team option. Team.
Bye.
He said if the team wants him back, he would love to come back.
He's not coming back for $20 million. I'll tell you that. Hey, I was wrong on Diggs. I've said it multiple times in the show. However,
once,
just like Drake May, it all comes home to roost. I actually was kind of right on Diggs. When we needed him, he flamed out like the
started fights, couldn't run his own, got broken up with, just fucking awful.
Absolutely, just mentally out there. Hunter Henry, just soft. Just anytime he's pushed around, he disappears. And then the rest of the guys are role players. So you obviously need to upgrade that position. And then defensively, my only gripe is if the game plan was to be conservative on offense and win on defense, then you needed more game-changing big plays on defense. You certainly needed a turnover. Not one turnover from that defense. And they just didn't get home on Darnold enough. Darnold sucked, but he had plays to make if he could throw the ball. You
didn't need to. Kenneth Walker was the one fucking running the show on that game.
MVP, and obviously, we can definitely get on the defense for their run defense. Clearly, they sucked there, but you can't. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to get on the defense too badly.
They kept them in the game the whole time.
Kept him in the game the whole time. They needed a play out of him. They needed a pick six. They needed a big time play out of him or Marcus Jones on the kick return or punt return. They didn't get any of it. They didn't get anything that they needed. Frankly, that
it all came up Patriots until the Super Bowl. Then it was not coming up Patriots anymore.
Nope. They needed 4 or 5 elite plays from Drake May. They didn't get one. They needed 1 or 2 big plays from their defense. They didn't get one. They needed special teams to do something special. They needed enough to make up that difference in talent on the rosters, and they came up with 0 is what they came up with, and that's the difference in the ball game. But again, anybody saying they got blown out, that's the score. They were in shooting distance and with 4 minutes left in that game, and Drake May turned the ball over, which that's a repeatable script for most of their losses under the Drake May era. And that's what I was concerned about heading into the season. Just took to the Super Bowl and AFC Championship game, playoffs to kind of shine the light on it.
What's the story that you posted on Instagram? No second-year quarterback that made the Super Bowl has ever gone back.
No second-year quarterback. Dan Marino's the big one. Your boy Joe Burrow, Colin Kaepernick, Brock Purdy. I think there's one other one on there.
No shit.
Never gone back to the Super Bowl. This was the easiest path he will ever have. No doubt about it.
Did you see next year's schedule? Woof.
6th hardest.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
6th hardest in the league. Gonna earn their medal. Look, we can end the Patriots on this. Their luck ran out. Clearly, they had a lot of luck running for them this year. Their schedule was their schedule. We've seen teams do this before. Easy schedules. It's obviously much easier to make runs, and I'm not taking anything away for that. But clearly, they had some luck. You needed to get to the playoffs and to get to the Super Bowl. That ran out. But I'm not down on the team. I think that they are probably going to be a worse record and a better team next year. And you almost have to start from scratch in terms of how to rebuild this team. Last year, they spent money on their defensive line. Their defense was their strength. Their defensive line was their strength. You clearly need to invest in this offensive line in more ways than one. And I'm obviously not in the room. Free agency, trade, draft, figure it out. Fill the gaps. That's your biggest weakness. It was last year. It is this year. if you want to actually be competitive next year, you got to do something about that offensive line. Start from scratch there.
Need some
And
wide receivers too.
You got to get a dynamic playmaker at wherever you want to put them. Tight end, wide receiver, I don't care. You don't want to go pay for wide receiver, fine. Then give me a better tight end or give me a dynamite pass catcher out of the backfield. You need a dynamic offensive playmaker to pair with Drake May. You don't have that right now.
You need an offensive makeover for sure.
Well, I don't know about maker. I think they need to shore up their offensive line and get a dynamic playmaker. And you want to put that guy with Booty and Hollins and Douglas, and if Henry's still around, fine. But you need somebody that's going to take the defense's attention and focus on that guy. And they don't have that. And that's making things harder. And you can't let Will Campbell live on an island for 14 pressures a game. That's not going to work. That's not going to work.
No.
Well, there you go. Fun season for the Pats. Unexpected season for the Patriots. The arrow's pointing up. This was a lot of negative shit in a bad blowout, shitty performance in the Super Bowl. But I still think you got an arrow pointed up. You got a coach. You got a quarterback. That's where you start in the league. And as long as Robert Kraft is willing to spend a little bit of money in the offseason, spoiler alert, he's not. So we'll see how Vrabel deals with that. Regardless, if the young guys get better, arrows pointing up. We'll look at you. We'll look to next season. And the NFL season never dies. So we'll start talking about the draft like next week or something.
Well, we have to because Bobby won't talk Red Sox or Bruins. So,
God, that's right. Yeah, we do have a little Red Sox talk. Spring training's back, baby.
They were 44 days away.
Spring training is not back. But they're in Fort Myers.
They're in Fort Myers.
Baseball's back, what I meant to say.
I know what you meant, baby.
And it's the most fun time to talk about baseball because we just get to shit on the Red Sox offseason.
Because they don't do anything.
Not enough. The Red Sox offseason was equivalent to the Patriots offense in the Super Bowl. Just not good enough.
Shit.
Man, I'm on fire tonight. All right, let's throw it over to headlines with the obvious one.
And thank you there, Richard. The biggest weekend of sports for New England fans ended with sad beers for everyone. Super Bowl 60 was Sunday. I don't know if the Patriots offense knew that, but it was played, and the Seattle Seahawks won their second Lombardi Trophy, 29-13. Kenneth Walker was named game MVP with 27 rushing attempts and 135 yards. Big game at the Garden for the Celtics as they hosted the New York Knicks, and like the Patriots offense, the Celtics offense didn't realize there was a game this weekend, though the biggest news from the game came from a timeout right here.
Tatum, you coming back, Mark, sir? Don't look at me if you are. Yeah, he's coming back, baby.
You heard it here first.
Well done, Raymond.
You heard it here first. Jason Tatum is coming back. The Red Sox made a trade and finally filling that third base slot out. 26-year-old Caleb Durbin from Milwaukee. And finally, Olympic news, Lindsey Vonn, who was already skiing on a torn ACL, was racing Sunday, got caught in a gate and broke her leg. Was airlifted off the mountain, ending her Olympic Games. This has been Headlines with the obvious one. Back to you, Richard.
Putting it down, don't keep it under pressure. Putting it down, don't keep it under pressure.
You been watching the Winter Olympics?
I was watching curling before the Celtics game. I was drinking a beer with my friend at the bar with the kids. They were eating, we were drinking, and we were watching some curling.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
I've watched a lot of Winter Olympics.
It's not bad. I like the Olympics. You know me. I like the Olympics. I prefer the summer, but winter, just as good sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of the events.
We got the the Peacock app,
Oh, of course.
which has all the replays and stuff. Yeah, that's easy. That's an easy way to do it. That Lindsey Vonn thing was, yeesh.
Yeah, we were at the bar watching. We were like, oh, shit, that doesn't look good.
I guess the moral of the story there is don't ski without an ACL, especially when you're 41.
Yeah, but
Did you see
dying.
your leg?
No, because I don't do well with those.
I don't know if it was the the knee that the ACL was.
No, it was the other one. It was the other leg.
Now she doesn't have either one because
now she's going to be in a wheelchair.
Leg was sideways. I mean, oh God. Whatever, she went out doing what she loved. Good for her.
Yep, good for
her. American won that event anyway, I think. So
not her though.
No, not her. Celtics. We move from the Patriots to a team that is third in the East at this point, I believe.
Yeah, they lost the Knicks on Sunday, so yeah, they're.
I watched that game too.
Me too.
That was my. Yeah, you were there. Oh,
I was there.
You had great seats for that game, huh?
Oh, I was supposed to be in 327 or 325, and I was sitting with the players' wives. I was sitting behind in front of Derek White's wife. I was sitting next to Jordan Walsh's girlfriend or wife. I saw the Chisholms. I saw Wick, all of them, and I was feeling pretty froggy. So I asked Jordan Walsh's girlfriend. I said, "Hey, I have a serious question for you." She goes, "What's that?" I go, "Since Chisholm bought the team, do you guys have Smut Book Club of the Month?" She laughed and said, "Absolutely not."
Hard-hitting questions from Sim Mind Sports.
Yeah, you gotta ask questions,
Well, you didn't ask about the trade deadline, which is the news we're here to talk about. The Celtics successfully got under the luxury tax by trading Anthony Simons, Chris Boucher, Josh Minot, and Xavier Tillman. Anthony Simons went for Nikola Vucevic, who we talked about last week, that trade, which we're all on board with. That's okay. All right. You probably
that was great.
Downgrade the talent a little bit. You shake out the lineup. You still got a good player there. And if it saves you a little money, good for them. And then they went and just salary dumped 3 non-rotational players. That's not going to affect them on the court. I get it. But was all an idea to get on the luxury tax. So this new ownership will not have to pay a luxury tax, saved them about $20 million. They currently now sit at $843,000 under the tax, which will make them non-repeaters, which if you have a positive green lens on this, you can say next year it opens the door for the ownership to spend and put them in a position to go for the championship. I won't say they're not going to do it. We know nothing about this new ownership other than the fact that they tore away some pieces of this team that's competing for the East in order to save $20 million. So those are the facts. That's what they are. How do you feel about them being financially motivated as opposed to motivated by winning the East?
It feels like the Red Sox. It feels like the Red Sox of the NBA. When you have a team that can compete right now, you have Tatum, who is playing 5v5 in Maine with the Maine Celtics. He's pretty much coming back. He confirmed it to me the other day on Sunday to my face that he's coming back. So why wouldn't you go and help get this team over the hump and get past the Knicks and past the Pistons to be able to go to the NBA Finals when it seems like the East is at its weakest it's ever been? You could have a clear shot to the finals, yet you don't want to add your sellers. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. You could have kept Simons and probably, got another big and kept all the other guys that you just traded off for salary dumps. I don't like the way it's going. I don't like the new ownership and how this is panning out. It's not a good look right now for the new ownership.
Yeah. I mean, look, I get it on, I get it from a financial standpoint. I hate the argument. It's not your money. Why do you care? I care because I live in the real world and I understand that businesses operate on money, and this is a business and they just spent $7 billion on it. And the other side of that is going and investing. Like, what is the trade that was out there that would have made them championship contenders and that would have made sense for them? Like, you can tell me what that is and you can tell me if it's fiscally even possible for them to do that, considering the restrictions that blah, 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 all the NBA salary talk. What I do like about it is Brad Stevens. Like, he's not Red Sox. He has been pretty much upfront. Like, there will be considerations for the salary on this team this year, and we are going to make decisions based on that. It's a practical standpoint. We're in the NBA. We have new rules, and we have to financially be responsible. So at least he's not bullshitting us.
But what happens if Tatum didn't tear his Achilles and was healthy this season? Do you think they'd still be doing this?
Yeah, definitely. This is the other part that people are missing. Drew Holiday is not what he was. He had to go. Chris Porzingis not even playing anymore.
I know that would have happened, but I'm just saying for like right now with that salary dump with Tillman and Minot and Bouchard, do you think they would have done all that? Or Boucher, excuse me.
Boucher and Minot. I do believe they would have, and I do believe that they would have made their best effort to get under the first apron to retool their roster, because there are limitations to do that from a free agent standpoint when you're in the first and second apron. You can't spend max dollars. You have to match money, blah, 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 blah. The restrictions are real. They're not as blown up as a lot of people make them out to be. However, they are there, and they needed to get rid of big salaries, and they needed to retool the roster a little bit. And it just so happens Jaylen Brown is balling the fuck out and leading his team, to a potential Eastern championship. So Tatum is coming back. He just started 5-on-5 with the Red Claws in Maine. Sorry, the Celtics, the Maine Celtics.
Thank you.
And you're going to be looking at a Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Nikola Vucevic, and whoever else they want to put in that starting lineup. Peyton Pitcher coming off the bench, contributors in Gonzalez and Shireman, and whatever string of white boys that want to shoot from the three you want to throw out there. That's what you got, and you got Queta, and you got a bunch of role player guys that Missoula's going to have to pull the strings on. Good luck.
Hugo Gonzalez's brother was sitting in front of me, and I'm like, I was asking him for his poor performance. I'm like, what is up with your brother? What's with this poor performance today? Ha 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 ha. Like he didn't know what I was saying. I'm like, you know what I'm fucking saying. You can understand me.
Clever girl. Well, there you go. There's the Celtics thought. We're going to be right back after this, and Raymond may be finishing the show on a solo mission.
I can't do that. I can't do 10 questions by myself.
Okay, well, do Simple Minds, and we'll have to get back to it.
All right, Simple Minds right after this.
Oh, back to school, to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
But I will say, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I do have family members with Down syndrome. It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. Bit of a day walker myself.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
While Rich deals with crying kids, let's get into some funny things. The first clip I have for you is called Husband Material. That'd be me, just at the beach, just not talking to girls, just throwing my ass out in the ocean, just cleaning it off in this nice salt water and taking a nice aqua dump. That'd be me, just living life. Just no cares in the world. That's what happens when you turn 40. You just don't fucking care. You just go to the beach and you just don't fucking care anymore. The next one I have is called Riz. Poor guy trying to get a round of beers for his friends. They're all laughing at him. Two girls taking his beer. One guy. Nope. Your embarrassment's not over yet. You shall get pants today, sir. You spilled all of our Guinness. We will laugh at you. We will point at you. And everyone's going to see your wiener. Boom. Next one, because now it's snowing out. I just saw we have 4 inches, which is a lot of snow. This one really hit home. We've all been there. We've all been down that mountain, just going down that hill and just eating shit because you thought you could go really fast and hit that jump with ease. Nay. Just a face full of snow. That has to be the absolute fucking worst. I love watching kids get hurt too, by the way. I think at a certain age, you just enjoy it more when you just see kids just getting fucking railed in the face. Oh, just fucking love it. If you like kids getting hurt, you're going to love this next one.
cooked. You're cooked. It's coming from
Yeah, that was good. Just, I don't know what this duck thing is. It calls it a wood duck thing. I don't know, like a roundabout. Kids just ain't fast enough. He ain't going to make that time in the 40. So, well, I think Rich has to deal with sick kids. Bobby is dealing with his wigwam, and this is going to be an early show. So this has been the Simple Mind Sports Show Friday Rewind, live Tuesday, February 10th. We will catch you next week. Hopefully the gang's back. Hopefully all the kids are good, and hopefully Bobby is still alive. So until then, see you next time. Bye-bye.